All right, now let's move on to the game you just called, Aaron Murray. Georgia, UT Martin, I believe.
Yes.
There's a nice window there where I got to watch that as the main game before Georgia started to pull away. Aaron, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of enjoying a little bit of the dog melt as this entire offseason. I've been talking about Beck and Bobo, hammering that as that's the question. That's the question. And you wouldn't guess it from just looking at the final numbers or score.
No.
But the early returns, sorry, I want to be clear about this. UGA is going to be held to a different standard, as they should be. They are attempting to do something that has never been done before. So what can be good for 95% of teams can be shit for Georgia. And so with that as the context, as the kind of the lens, the beginning of this game looked pretty shit for Mike Bobo and Carson Beck. Like, people were pissed on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, people were furious. I mean, but if you didn't watch the game, just look at the stats. It's like, oh, Carson was 21 of 31 for 294 yards and a touchdown. They ran for 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like, you're like, oh, that must have been a great game. They only gave up 7 points. Like, it's a dominant victory to get the season going. It didn't feel like that at all. I mean, the game there was no rhythm on offense in the first half.
No.
It didn't feel good. And I agree. Like, they're going to be put to a different standard. But it's funny, you look at all the top teams this weekend, and they all had some issues early on. Like, Michigan wasn't blowing anyone out. Ohio State had issues. We'll get to Ohio State. Ohio State wasn't rolling early. They really didn't roll at all. Even Alabama. I mean, I was looking at Alabama. It was like almost towards the end of the half. I know they scored a couple late. It was 14-0 midway through the second quarter for Alabama. Yeah. I mean, like, new quarterback, getting some feelers out there for some situations. Obviously, new coordinators from both Alabama and Georgia. Then all of a sudden, third, fourth quarter, you kind of got to see those teams feel better about it. But I will say this: it took Carson 2 quarters to start demonstrating what he could do, and really the first throw where I was like, okay, there's the Carson that I kind of think he could be. It was a post deep cross concept. Safety got deep. He ripped the deep cross. I was like, all right, that's what he can do. And there's a couple missed opportunities too. Like, Dom Lovett dropped a couple passes that he normally would catch based on some of the stuff you saw from him last year at Missouri. Lad McConkey wasn't playing. That's a big key to that offense. If anything, honestly, I wasn't thrilled with Carson. I kind of like a C+ on the day, just because I'm going to hold him to a higher standard. But I thought the offensive line was average. Yeah, and we've hyped this offensive line off all season. Like, this is the offensive line that is this major chip on the shoulder that they've been kind of gypped from the Joe Moorhead Award, and they couldn't move UT Martin off the ball.
Yeah,
that was the more disappointing thing for me walking away from the game. It wasn't Carson, it wasn't Bobo, it was more this offensive line who's been kind of flexing, didn't flex at all, in my opinion, tonight.
Well, and it's like you may not have an elite back to help them, right? They're going to have to help the backs more than the backs are going to be able to help them, at least right now.
Yeah, but they're getting hit in the backfield, though. There's a difference between like a back not being able to explode 4 or 5 yards down the field and a back getting hit in the backfield.
No, I agree. I just simply mean that, like, if you just have a great running back, they can make you right. Like, even if you suck, they can make you look better versus where this O-line's going to have to be better if this running back room is going to be effective. T. Pelzy, I kind of agree with this comment from T. Pelzy. He looked nervous. Hopefully that was just a first start thing. I texted it earlier. It gave off a very he seemed to give off kind of a timid energy at the beginning of that game.
He just has no... like, Stetson was emotional, man. Like, Stetson wore his emotions on his sleeve. Like, you always knew how Stetson was feeling. Like, and he'd get pissed off and he would be bitching and moaning on the sideline. Like, I've been around Carson enough and talking with the staff this week. He doesn't have a pulse. And I think that's what is I don't want to say concerning, but for the people on the outside looking in, it's like, does he not care? Or is he nervous? Or is he stoned? Like, what is it? Because it just looks like it looks flatlined. It just looks flatlined. But that's his personality. And Kirby's like, I don't hate it because I kind of know what I'm going to get from him. He's never going to get too high. He's never going to get too low. He's just, Carson's here, man. It's just, that's it.
It's
I don't know if that's good or not, but
so
there's room for improvement.
It's not good or bad. I mean, like, you see guys who are stoic and great, and like you said, guys who wear the hearts of the sleeves great. It's just that when you don't look great, then we're going to like everything. Again, everything is going to take on a harsher glare because of the standards you're being held to. And so you just interpret things differently, right? Like I could be completely just kind of connected dots to it. Just maybe he's not nervous at all. I don't know. I wouldn't be overly
I'm sure there was
though.
some nerves, though. I mean, he said it in the post game.
Sure.
Like, this was his first time starting a football game in 4 years.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's a
long time.
And even Joe Burrow talked about that back in the day, how weird that was for him after sitting out for so long, finally getting started. So look, I wouldn't panic, Georgia fans. It's
defense looked good, as they should have, but
yeah, I mean, come on, yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah,
I'm not. I don't care about what the defense did against UT Martin. I don't care. See, that's what sucks about these cupcake games. I don't care about anything good. The only thing that stands out is all the bad. Even though actually we can talk a little A&M later. I kind of like them today. We'll talk about it. But
hey, I told you, baby, they got some studs.
Well, I feel like we've been pretty. I feel like me and you have been pretty much on the same page with A&M. We've had him consistently third in the West. I would say.
What are you more concerned with? Because I want to roll this quietly into the Ohio State conversation. Were you more concerned with quarterback play for Georgia? Or are you more concerned about quarterback play for Ohio State? Obviously, Ohio State played I would say, more quality opponent.
I would say Ohio State just because I already think that Ohio State's probably more beatable because they've proven to be more beatable in the past, right? So like it was an Ohio State team today that did not look like one that would that's going to fight for a playoff. Looks like, I mean, that's an Ohio State team today that I feel pretty good about my call that Notre Dame's going to beat them in South Bend.
I'm with you.
After today.
I'm with you. I don't think I think you may see Ohio State team that's 9-3 this year, the way they play today.
But I think there's a common theme here, right? Look at all the favorites that we just hand waved away, them working in new quarterbacks. All were relatively not strong days, all won by big numbers. But like I think about Ohio State, Georgia, and then like you said, Alabama, which I get to watch Alabama's closely yet, so I don't want to go too hard down there.
Yeah,
but it felt like all three of them kind of struggled a bit working in those new faces.
Well, Jalen ended up having a good day. I mean, he had 5 total touchdowns. So I mean, he ended up kind of balling out. I want to watch the film later. That's one I haven't seen yet. So I'll save some comments for our late night show tomorrow or on Monday about my thoughts on him. But Kyle McCord, watching him, I thought you once saw someone who looked nervous to me. Talking about Carson, I thought McCord, he looked more nervous and things were happening too fast. But also, let's remember, that was his first game starting. It was on the road too, in a conference game. And I know Indiana has nothing to kind of hold your chest up high that you won the football game, but it's still it's your first game, high expectations, and you're on the road. But it looked like things were happening a little bit too fast.
Jamie Cable says SEC buckle up, Milrow. Yeah, I mean, look, I guess out of those, Milrow probably did look the best. And what does this say? Okay, yeah, that's what I just read. As far as Georgia, I had one more team that I wanted to. I didn't watch a lot of Michigan today, actually. So I did see them line up for their fallen coach, though, which I thought was kind of funny as he serves a voluntary suspension. Okay, so that was Carson Beck in Georgia. Again, a lot of time to fix it, no panic, but not maybe as sharp or as impressive as I think a lot of dog fans would have hoped. As evidence, just put Mike Bobo into the Twitter engine. And if you just want to sit back and just read anger, just put Mike Bobo in the Twitter engine and go check it out.